přivítám další přednášející, kterou je Heike Orde, která pracuje v Bavarian Broadcasting Company, televizní společnosti Bavorské, a má tam na starosti výzkumné centrum zaměřené na mládež, na děti, na vysílání pro mládež a pro děti a pro vzdělávání. A ve své přednášce se zaměří právě na to, jak to mladí, kteří jsou také nazývaní mimo jiné digital natives, tedy pro které je přirozené pracovat v novém digitálním prostředí a víceméně je to součástí běžného života, tak jak právě oni vyhledávají, co by jim mohli instituce, jako jsou knihovny, nabízet, tak aby to pro ně bylo přirozené. So Heike, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much and good morning. I'm very pleased to be here. We have heard now a lot of technologies, taxonomies. I think when we are talking about the future of searching, it might be a good idea to approach this topic from the perspective of our users, more precisely from our young users. So in my presentation, I will try to give you a short insight into the media worlds of the so-called generation of digital natives and their searching behavior based on representative studies from the United States, UK and Germany. At the end of the talk, I plan to discuss these research results in the context of libraries and the information services we offer to this target group. Now, let's start with some data on young people's media use, importance, and image of media. When we are looking at these figures of a Kaiser Family Foundation study from 2010, it becomes evident that young people do spend a lot of time with media. For example, the age group of 11 to 14-year-olds spend 8 hours, 40 minutes per day using media. In total, this age group is exposed nearly 12 hours a day to media. This seems to be really a lot, but if we compare these figures to those of the total population, as we can see it here from a representative German study, it becomes clear that young people, and here we have the age group of 14 to 29-year-olds, do not spend more of their time with media than the rest of the population does. In Germany, they even spend 20 minutes less every day with media than the rest of the population. Let's take a closer look. How much time with each medium is spent per day? And here we have significant differentials between the age group of 40 to 29-year-olds and the total population of 40-year-olds and older. The total population in Germany watches TV 220 minutes per day. The 14 to 19-year-olds only 151 minutes. On second place of the most used medium in this age group, the age group of the young people, is the internet, and this is followed by the use of the radio. So, young people use the internet significantly more than the rest of the population with 83 minutes. However, this does not mean at all that young people are abandoning traditional media. They still use media, and we can see that 30 minutes per day of their time budget is spent with reading books, while the rest of the population is only spending 22 minutes. Here we come to a characteristic of young people's media use, and it's the media multitasking. If we hear the total amount of total media exposure per day with nearly 12 hours for the age group of adolescents, this seems to be incredibly high. And we can see here that young people love and are used to media multitask. That means, on the left side, if they are watching TV, 29% are using another medium at the same time. And when they use computers, here at the right side, 40% of the users listen at the same time to music, are watching TV, or sending a text message parallel to that. According to the results of the US Kaiser Family Foundation study, more than a quarter of the time young people use media, they use 2 or more media concurrently. The proportion of print media are among the least multitasked of all the various media. Now, quantitative youth media research shows that there has been a huge increase in media use among youth worldwide. But when young people are asked about their personal priorities in life, friends and family always rank first. And if we have a look of the time budget of the leisure time, meeting friends, spending time with the family is always on first place, not media use. I've checked several European studies in this context, and the results are always the same: friends and family are on first place. Now, we have seen for the so-called digital natives or young people that the web is the second most used medium every day. But it is the most appreciated medium. And if researchers do not want to know what medium is really important, they are asking the so-called island question. What media would you take with you if you had to go to a deserted island? In 2000, only 12% would take the internet with them or would strongly miss it. In 2010, a majority of 70% of young people say they could not live without the internet. Now, why are young people so attached to the web? We had now a lot of results from quantitative media research. Let's have a look at qualitative media research. Qualitative youth research says that the reason is because the web provides tremendous opportunities for their socialization. The internet helps define adolescents' social identities by enabling multiple communication functions, such as email, instant messaging, social networks, chats, and online communities, so they can easily connect with their peers. And if we have a look at the figures, what young people actually do on the web, this assumption is strongly confirmed. The internet is extensively used to communicate, to network, and to socialize. This is the most important function for young people, not looking for information. The way in which young people use computers and the internet appears to be very different from how they use traditional media and how the rest of the population is using the web, as you can see. The internet is transforming the social world of adolescents by influencing how they communicate and how they establish and maintain relationships. When preteens and adolescents are asked how they self-assess their computer skills, they do feel very, very confident. Only the preteens, this is the age group of the 10 to 12-year-olds, think that their father might be more competent using the computer. As you can see, it's a question of gender, because the mother do not seem to be very confident, and also the teachers are not considered as expert or role models in the use of computers. So, in a nutshell, young people spend a lot of time with media, but not more than the rest of the population, and friends and family still rank first. They still use traditional media, but in a different way than former media generations. They appreciate and use the web for communication purposes and use it extensively to network and to socialize. They think their computer and information literacy skills are really, really good and do not consider teachers or librarians as experts or role models. In the last few years, we have heard and read a lot about the so-called next generation, generation digital native. There is an ongoing discussion what makes this media generation so special and different from former media generations. Here are some characteristics that are attributed to them. Digital natives or the next generation in this case, can integrate the virtual and physical. They have special visual and spatial skills. They are intuitive visual communicators. They learn better through discovery than being told. And they are able to shift their attention rapidly from one task to another. Also, they are able to respond quickly and expect rapid responses in return. If we take a closer look to the information-seeking behavior of the so-called new generation, we have to mention the alarming results of the Israel study. I think some of you maybe heard about it. The authors say that information literacy of young people has not improved with the widening access to and greater familiarity with information technology. Their speed of web searching means that little time is spent in evaluating information, either for relevance, accuracy, or authority. They have a poor understanding of their information needs and find it difficult to develop effective search strategies. They do not find library resources intuitive, and therefore prefer to use Google or Yahoo instead of Wikipedia, because these offer a familiar and simplistic solution for their study and information needs. The largest analysis of information literacy so far is the information literacy report from the University of Washington Information School. And it provides an interesting insight how students evaluate and use information. The researchers also asked over 8,000 students what difficulties they encounter with information seeking. And here are the main results. For many of today's undergraduates, information seems to be as limitless as the universe. So why is it necessary to perform an exhaustive search? Findings suggest that students use an information seeking and research strategy driven by efficiency and predictability. That means we know they will always go to Google, they will go to Wikipedia, to YouTube or whatever. Find very, very quickly the information they are looking for. Students actively look for strategies on how to reduce the search options, and the majority prefer the same search strategies regardless of the topic, the information they need. It is interesting to see that evaluating information for students is a collaborative process. But as you can see, librarians are not playing a significant role in this process. And I think these are alarming results for information professionals think that libraries can thrive in the digital world as they are at the moment. Now, what are we doing with all of this? What are the conclusions? What are the consequences for libraries? I thought of how I can bring these research results into a picture, and this is the results. Here we have a digital native riding on the surface of the web. He's almost drowning in the 21st century tsunami of information, but they are looking for surfboards which allow them to ride on huge waves of information that are crashing threateningly over their heads. They are looking for easy solutions to satisfy their information needs. And this is what libraries offer. Very complex, very extensive, very complicated. Container ship, though this is not a container ship, this is a Queen Elizabeth cruise ship. Ships fully loaded with repositories, databases that we as librarians are providing to them to help them navigate the ocean information do not appear very attractive or helpful to them. So now let's face the gap between what we as librarians consider high quality online information resources and what students are actually looking for to handle their information needs in schools or universities. They prefer inductive discovery and are intuitive visual communicators. We are tending to ignore the meaning of learning and knowing has changed fundamentally. They prefer to search and use information just in time. We think that our users have a sophisticated understanding of information retrieval. They prefer a familiar and simplistic solution for their study needs. We offer complex information resources, especially in the future. They actively strategize how to reduce the search options of information resources. We provide even more online resources with even more content. They prefer to use Internet Web 2.0, and we still sometimes do have the tendency to focus on traditional media. So how can we bridge the gap? I think there are three central points. The first is we cannot reach digital natives, or just let's say young people, without understanding the media scapes they inhabit. There are lots of myths and stereotypes around what is concerning to the media use of young people. We should provide easy to handle, simultaneous, non-linear access to multiple sources. We should develop proactive strategies to capture this target group. I have an example for you from the Urban Libraries, University of California. And this is, I think, a very successful example for changing a library's website to a dynamic service point. The colleagues from urban libraries have developed a concept to make use of their resources and services more interactive, enjoyable, and rewarding. Librarians must be present anytime as interactive, competent partners, for example, as digital concierge. The librarians from our library recommend to implement feedback mechanisms and to evaluate web statistics in order to change how patrons interact with library websites. Now, in this example, librarians do not give their customers the feeling that they are facing all alone a very complicated task to handle. And they accept the fact that their users might not have a very sophisticated understanding of information retrieval in databases or repositories. So they just take the users by the hand and lead them through the information seeking process step by step. This is an example for so-called decision tree they have developed to assist this target system. In general, the librarians in this case study have increased the responsiveness to the information needs of young people dramatically. So, I'm at the end of my presentation, and I would like to finish with this quote from Orde and Gaster. In a nutshell, again, I think we will never reach the target group of digital natives without understanding the mediascapes, but by demystifying this media generation in the light of current research results, we may come to the conclusion of Orde and Gaster. There are no hard data to suggest that digital natives are smarter than anyone who came before them. Neither there's any sign that kids are dumber or in any way less promising than previous generation of kids. Digital natives are doing the same things their parents did with information, just in different ways. Thank you very much.
Jsou nějaké otázky? Otázky nejsou. Thank you.